Hi everyone, it's been ages since I've done a video, so it's Halloween here in Ireland and I thought I would do a basic dowsing video, something that could be very useful to some of you who might be experiencing what I've been experiencing for a good while now, and I found a way to kind of help reduce it, and it's transforming curses into blessings. And a lot of people don't quite understand what curses are. They think it's someone like me dressed up as a witch, and, around a bonfire or something, beating a drum or whatever with all the stuff and, casting spells on someone and that and cursing them. But no, it's people like you and me without the hat. And it's our words. Our words are curses. And that's where they begin. Everything begins with the word. So you be either cursing yourself or you're cursing others just by talking about them, by gossiping about them, by wishing them ill, wishing them harm, and we do it all the time, and most of us are not aware of what we're doing to harm other people or ourselves. The words we use against ourselves, so we're saying stuff like, I'm such an idiot, or I never get anything right. These are just examples of how we curse ourselves. How do you expect anything to change when you're speaking to yourself like that? And there's much worse things that and I know because I spent a long time, I spent about 44 years, cursing myself and not realizing what I was doing. So we can undo that. We can undo that, and I'll show you how in this video, And how do we curse others? Well, we're always having arguments in our minds about other people, and people don't match our expectations or live up to what we would like them to live up to and that, and we will curse them and we will say harmful things about them, So we're cursing others, And of course others are doing exactly the same to us, And some will curse us to cause harm to us. They will try to sabotage our business or our spiritual work or our creative work. I've had all this. I had a year of this actually from a couple of people, So I had to go in deeply and say, right, okay, I'm attracting this on some level. How am I attracting it? On what level? And what is it attracting it? And I had to look at the resonance within me. Some of it was from this life, from things I'd said to myself, where I'd cursed myself, so I had to draw the like from others and outside of me. Others were from past lives or generational curses, ancestral curses, all that kind of stuff. So I've done a lot of work this year on, rooting out the causes and why would we attract stuff like that, Now this isn't, some people are downright mean and they just attract stuff. I'm talking about the nice people who are attracting this stuff, the people who are doing spiritual work, light workers, healers of any kind, who are attracted, or just even creative people, or people who are doing just anything, when you start standing out of the crowd, people start getting edgy with that, because it shows them where they're not. And they probably don't have the energy to go and do that kind of stuff that you're doing, so they get a bit jealous, and they'll start sending saboteur energies towards you, Anyway, I could spend ages talking about this, and maybe we'll talk about it in another video. But anyway, for today we're going to transform curses into blessings. Now, there's many ways you can do this, but the ways I'm going to show you today, one, I'm going to use my pendulum. Okay, so with my pendulum, I have it set. I do a lot of work with my pendulum. I work with my pendulum every day for several hours on many different things. I'm working for clients, I'm working for myself, I'm working for my family. I'm checking stuff out. I'm trying to get the best experience I can for my life, So I've set, everyone does different things with their pendulum. With my pendulum, I have it set to give me a yes answer. So I'm going to give you an example of what this looks like. So we'll just stop it there for a second. Okay, I'm going to say my name is Paula. And it's swinging back towards me. Okay, and I'm going to say my name is Bill. And it's going to start swinging sideways. Okay, now some people will get a circular. I just literally program my pendulum to give me a yes coming at me and a no sideways. Now, another way of doing this, if you don't have a pendulum, because I want to include everybody here, your body is a natural pendulum. You can set a pendulum, once you have seen a physical pendulum doing this, and you've done, if you have a pendulum at any stage, and you've done the yes and no for yourself, because everyone's yes and no can be different, you can imagine a pendulum in your mind swinging for a yes and a no. You can do it that way. That takes a lot of time and effort and concentration. I've done that. I have that in my mind as well. The other thing is your body is a pendulum as well. Okay, so your body, if you can stand or sit very comfortably, and again, you'll need to drink water, you'll need to be rested, and try and clear your mind of other distractions. And again, if I say to myself, my name is Paul, my body is actually going to automatically swing forward towards the truth of that. And if I say my name is Bill, I'm going to, now obviously I'm doing this myself, but normally when I'm sitting down in a session, I use my pendulum or I use my body sway. So I'll sway backwards for no. And if you get practice with this, you can get the truth of most basic things. You can see what's true for you and what's not true for you. So this can be very, very interesting practice if you get into it, you know. So anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to scramble the frequency and neutralize the negative effects of curses, and we're going to transform them into blessings. Okay, so if you realize that curses are just words, we're going to talk about words here. So that's what we're going to do. So we're talking about words. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to scramble the frequency and neutralize the negative effects of any words I used against myself, all right, or yourself. Okay, and I'm going to scramble the frequency and neutralize the negative effects of any words that were used against me by others. And I'm going to scramble the frequency and neutralize the negative effects of any words I've used against others. So we must always go into ourselves. Okay, so we're going to scramble the frequency. This is what we're doing now. We're scrambling the frequency and we're neutralizing the negative effect of any words used by myself against myself, or yourself obviously. Words used against others by myself, and words used by others against me, against myself. Okay, so we're scrambling the frequency, neutralizing the negative effects of these things. And we're going to transform them into blessings instead, for the highest greatest good of all concerned. And if you're watching this, we're going to ask that this happen for you. All of these words used by yourself against yourself, used by others against you, and used by you against others. So we're going to ask that this be scrambled and neutralized and turned into blessings for all of you watching this video here today, and any other day obviously. And we're just waiting. The pendulum's swinging around because it's taking a lot of energy to do this. And when the pendulum comes to a stop, that's it, you know. And if you were doing this and using the body sway, your body would just probably, you know, what I found when I'm doing things like this using my body starts swaying back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And the minute it has done what I've asked it to do, it'll swing forward. So I usually program myself. I say, okay, I'm going to clear this. I'm scrambling the frequency. I'm neutralizing the negative effects of this. I'm transforming it into blessings. And when my body sways forward completely, I know that that has been achieved. And what I know with this work is sometimes it's like having a bath or a shower. You know, you do it every day, you know, and I'm not saying you have to do this every day, but for those of you more sensitive people like myself out there, you're going to know when a word is being used against you, when there's a spell being cast against you, or when there's a curse against you, or when you're feeling a bit off. That's usually the clue that something's wrong. And with a pendulum, you can check for your yes and no to see, is something being used against me, or am I using something? I always check me, what did I do to draw this to me? And if there's nothing I did, well then is someone directing something at me? And is there something within me that is drawing that to me? And if there isn't, well then I have other things I can do when someone keeps sending me stuff as well, you know. I never send any harm to anybody. I always transform, scramble the frequency, neutralize the negative effects. I always transform into blessings where possible. You know, now say I do a lot of exorcism work and stuff like that as well, but we'll talk about that in another video anyway. So anyway, wishing you all a very blessed day. I hope this helps enormously. And of course, feel free, you can always contact me if you need any more information on what I'm actually doing. And that's it. Take care. Happy day.